What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State basketball moves to 2-0 on the young season with a 96-60 victory over the Niagara Purple Eagles on Thursday. A very impressive game, especially a really impressive second half. But there was a lot to take from this game and a lot that we liked from this game that we can take going forward. There still is a couple of questions remaining for this team, obviously still in the early part of the season, but there's a big matchup upcoming on Tuesday against the #1 ranked Kansas Jayhawks. So we're just going to briefly talk about this game and what to expect going forward on Tuesday. But first, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there for more Michigan State basketball content throughout the season. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. So 96-60, the half split was 46-39 at halftime, a little closer than it should be, and then 50-21 in the second half. Listen, you got to give the Niagara players credit. They came out and they hung in there all game long. Especially Jahari Williamson had a really good game. 12 points in 28 minutes, was 4 for 11 from the field, but all 4 of those shots were 3-pointers. Jalen Martinez as well was 2 for 2 from 3. That was kind of the story of the first half. They were hitting some threes to keep them in the game. They went 9 for 26 though on the game, so 34.6%. Not horrible, not great though, but definitely those threes were keeping them in the game in the first half. And actually they came out really hot. Michigan State was down early, had a 7-0 run to come back and tie it. I think that run eventually ballooned into a 14-1 run. We saw Jeremy Fears attack in transition, kind of under pressure, 1 or 2 times in this game, which was nice. At halftime, you were only up 7, but there was a lot of missed layups in this game, and especially in the first half. And like I said, they were hitting some threes to keep them in the game, and we weren't hitting many, especially in the first half. But listen, a couple things you want to look at from this game. I thought overall, we'll talk about the story of the game in Jackson Kohler, but overall, again, Jace Richardson, incredibly impressive off the bench. 17 minutes, 12 points. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block as well. 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 1 for 1 from 3, 4 for 7 from the field. Really, really solid game for him. Again, I'm going to keep comparing him to Brandon Pajemski from the Warriors. Just a guy that comes in off the bench and just does all the right things. Booker, there was times that I thought looked a little bit better. The rebounding, getting a little bit better. 5 rebounds tonight. That was good. 7 points. 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. So the volume will get there because he'll have the volume. He'll be, one of the players with probably the 3 or 4 in terms of shots per game taken on this team. I thought Jaden Akins, again, was solid. The scoring output wasn't what it was the first game, but it didn't really have to be. There was a lot of cooks in the kitchen this game that was able to make this a 96-60, 36-point win. But Jaden Akins, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and, 0 for 3 from 3, so that'll start falling. We saw it in the first game. Some of the other parts of this game start to get going. The three-pointer will get going for this team. It seems like that's been the story the last couple seasons, is the three-point shooting at the beginning of the season kind of starts out slow, then it gradually gets better and improves. I expect that'll happen again here. Listen, there's not a lot you can, take away in terms of the opponent in this game. You were really working on yourself in these first 2 games. But one thing I will say that was a solid improvement was that free throw shooting. 20 for 25, 80%. If you could sit at 80% for the entire year, you are looking golden. And honestly, if you were sitting at 80% last year, for a lot of those close games, you probably win of those, 7 to 9 games that were like a 1-score game or a game in which you had the lead and you lost, throughout the whole season last year. If you're shooting 80% in those games, you probably win a good, 2, 3, 4 of those games, and maybe things break a little differently, throughout the season for you. 20 assists to 9 turnovers, solid assist to turnover ratio. Would like to pass the ball around a little more, like a little bit more than 20 assists. But on the assist end, Jeremy Fears, again, 8 assists. No one else had over 3, and Xavier Booker was actually the person with 3. So that's a plus if you can get assists from Xavier Booker from the post or in high DHO action. Fast break points, they got out and ran again. That's another positive. So far, the early part of the season, getting out and running. I think a lot of that has to do with Jeremy Fears getting out, running, setting up this team, outscoring Niagara 28-8 in fast break points. And listen, this team, faced some early adversity, okay? And they're going to face adversity Tuesday against Kansas. There's no doubt about it. But they were down 7 early, and they end up growing that lead up to 38 points, and turned some pretty impressive runs into that lead. So I thought this was a good challenge game for Michigan State, especially early. Face a little bit of adversity, but then get to come back, take the lead, and work on the stuff you need to get to. Obviously, the opponent is the opponent. But hey, things ramp up even more. You get Kansas on Tuesday, which is the number one ranked team in the country right now. Just beat North Carolina at home on Friday night too. So that'll definitely, obviously, be a tough game. But we'll be back to preview that one. But got to talk about, save it for last, the story of the night. Jackson Kohler, 18 minutes, career high 20 points and 13 rebounds, 2 steals as well. 8 for 12 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. This was by far and away, obviously, Jackson Kohler's best game of his career. He was all over the place, and he was determined. Obviously not the tallest front up there. It'll be a little bit tougher, obviously, on Tuesday and going forward in Big Ten play, but he was feasting in the paint, leading to 52 points in the paint for Michigan State. Almost as many points as Niagra scored as a team. It was just impressive. He was on the board. He was getting rebounds, going back up with it, going strong, getting fouled, hitting his free throws. I mean, 7 defensive rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. That split is really awesome. Usually if a guy has 13 rebounds, it's usually like 10 defensive, 3 offensive. I mean, he was doing it on both sides. 2 steals as well. No turnovers as well. That was the biggest thing that we were looking at, was his turnovers in the paint. But he did a really, really solid job in this game, and by far and away his best game of his career. Looking forward to see him continue to improve, and now as we get into some tougher competition, starting Tuesday. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. We'll be back on Tuesday morning with a preview for the Kansas game. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.